Joining me right now is one of the senators to question her. Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn is also a member of the Armed Services, Commerce, and Judiciary Committees. Senator, it's great to see you again. Thanks so much for being here. I know that your office met with Ms. Hogan after the reports first surfaced in the Wall Street Journal. What can you tell us in terms of tomorrow's testimony, what you're looking to get at most importantly?
Yeah, you know, Maria, this has been fascinating to go through these documents that she has brought forward. What we want to know is how much data is Facebook capturing and what are they doing with that data? How long do they keep it? Are they sharing it with third parties? Are they getting permission when they are data mining these children? And it is amazing to us that they are marketing to children as young as 8, but yet they will sit there and they will say, oh, no, we don't do that. You can't be on our site if you're under 13. And we know that that is incorrect. We know that because we have seen the documents. We also want to know why they would allow some of these entities that are drug trafficking, that are sex trafficking. We know in other countries, you know, Facebook in the U.S. is pretty much a sanitized version of what you see in other countries. And 90% of Facebook's usership is in other countries. We know that the cartels use Facebook as they are pulling people to them to pay that fee to come to the U.S. border and enter the country illegally. We also know that women and teen girls, and especially a lot of your college-age women, young adults, are being pulled into sex trafficking off of these platforms.
Wow. That's extraordinary, Senator. I mean, it's really important what you're doing, this work that you're doing. And some of the things that you mentioned sort of go across the board in other social media companies as well. I mean, you look at a company like Twitter, where, you know, they cancel conservatives and block posts from the former president, and yet you've got the Chinese Communist Party and all of their propaganda arms talking all day long on Twitter, same with the Taliban, the Iran leadership. I mean, what is the priority here? What are they trying to do? Is it just about making money? Because the whistleblower also slammed Facebook for placing profit over public good. Let's watch this. Here she is. Watch.
Facebook has realized that if they change the algorithm to be safer, people will spend less time on the site, they'll click on less ads, they'll make less money.
Wow, that is damning, Senator.
Yes, it is. And Maria, what they have done is to data mine and then try to say, well, we can continue to pull young people onto our site if we do this, and this. They are actually researching the type experience that children are looking for. Now, likewise, when you get into other countries, what you see is they're allowing this trafficking to go on because, yes, they're looking at things as profit. They are a great big advertising company, and that is fully evident in the documents that we have been able to see. What they will do is to get as many eyeballs as they can and as many repeat users with as many hours as they can, and then they use that data to market back to the consumer or to the company to market to the consumer. So when you're on Facebook, you are the product because they own your data and they are building a virtual you. Also, and Maria, this is one thing we discovered with WhatsApp and Messenger. If you're in China and the Chinese Communist Party is embedding spyware into the Messenger app that the Uyghur Muslims use so that they are constantly tracked. Every movement these Uyghur Muslims are making because, of course, what do they want to do? They want to continue their genocide and eliminate the Uyghur Muslims.
Wow, this is just extraordinary. You are doing such great work, Senator. I want to ask you more about China.
Thank you.
Because, look, that's just one piece of the bad behavior from the CCP. We've been talking about all of these planes flying into Taiwan's airspace. We know what they've done in Hong Kong. We know what they're doing in the South China Sea, bullying neighbors. And now the Biden administration says it's going to be launching new trade talks with China. U.S. Trade Representative Katherine Tai scheduled to speak this morning. And the administration is going to keep, apparently, Trump-era tariffs in place. But, Senator, so far, any policy that I have seen has had no teeth. In fact, we keep bending over backwards for Huawei, sending the CFO back after being under a house arrest in Canada, taking down sanctions. Isn't Huawei a national security risk?
Oh, Huawei is definitely a national security risk. Maria, we have to keep in mind that the Chinese Communist Party is a partner, a major partner in any kind of Chinese commerce. That's foundation item number one. Number two, we have to realize it is a danger to single source any of our critical supply lines through China, whether it's telecom, pharmaceuticals, semiconductors, microprocessors. And the third thing is we know that the Trump tariff process worked. Our ag community is very concerned about what they're going to hear from Katherine Tai. Our manufacturing community, people in tool and die, metalworks, things of that nature, they want to know if they really are going to restart the exemption process, because there are some items that are components in our critical supply line that China is the only source. It is the single source, and they're looking for routes to bring that manufacturing or some of those component items into U.S.-based or ally-based entities so that they have a more stable and consistent trade policy. Because with China, whatever they say you're going to get, at the end of the day, that's what they're going to do. Look at the bullying, as you were mentioning, whether it's Taiwan, Hong Kong, Australia, dealing with us. John Kerry cannot seem to hold the Communist Chinese to account, even when it comes to polluting the air and climate. And I think that, you know, part of this plays into Biden Incorporated and their relationship with the Chinese Communist Party.
So just to be clear, you do think that Biden and his family have conflicts of interest. They've accepted money from the CCP, and that's why, one of the reasons, that he cannot be tough on China.
I think that that is a contributing factor. Of course, we do not know the extent of relationships that are there. We have learned that through Hunter Biden, there are some relationships with China. How much that weighs in to the policy, I do not know. I don't think anybody knows, Maria, but I do think it raises questions as to why they have been kowtowing to the Communist Chinese, whether it's dealing with Afghanistan, whether it is on trade, and why we have not stuck with an America First policy which benefits us, benefits our taxpayers, benefits our businesses when we exercise America First policies.
All really important points that you make. Marsha Blackburn, it's always a pleasure. Thanks so much for being here this morning. We so appreciate it. Senator, we'll be watching. Thank you. Marsha Blackburn joining us. We'll be right back.